Welcome to the very last episode of our PCM 25 career mode. This is what our team looked like 57 episodes ago when we started our Spanish-Slovenian pro team. Throughout the last 5 seasons, our team has grown step by step into one of the best teams in the world. In 2029, Dacia Sirocco has a well-rounded roster led by a Grand Tour winner, Lorenzo Finn, who won the Giro d'Italia for us. And well, Juan Ayuso is also a Grand Tour winner, but not on our team, yet. But I specifically want to highlight Ivan Romeo, who's been here from the start, the only original rider left in our team. Like sure, looking at the data, he's become less important every single year with 16 victories in the first year, 8 in the second year, and it kept going down, but that's 32 victories for our team in his entire 5-year career. It is fair to say our team is built on Ivan Romeo. Now, of course, in today's episode, I want to finish what we started last time, which is La Vuelta 2029, our last race of this entire series. And let's be honest, it's been a fantastic race so far with 4 stage wins in 9 days and Juan Ayuso in the red jersey, and our competition is not that great. That said, there's a couple really hard mountain stages left, so this race is far from over. But okay, you and I both know I want to win this race. Ooh, that is not a great start. Paul Magnier, we knew he was already super tired, but next to that, he also does not feel well now, so maybe I should send him home. I feel like I don't want my final act as a manager being the accidental death of Paul Magnier, so I am sending him home. There we go. Anyway, stage 10 is a versatile sprint stage, and Paul Magnier is the favorite, but he's on his couch now, so that ain't happening. In the last 60k of the stage with 2 climbs left, and the break is 6 riders with 3 minutes on the peloton, where we've got Kubic as our sprint leader for today, so the break is definitely not winning. I think we can do this. The final climb is now starting, the Alcornoc, 7k 5% on our train is basically on the rails and in position, so let's try and keep Kubic in position. Alvarez is struggling and Kubic is starting to struggle in the last 2k of this climb, so let's try to lower it towards 80 and hope that Kubic can stay relatively in contact with my train. Come on buddy, this is the top, so we should be fine, and now Romeo can try and keep ourselves at the front, and slowly but surely we can start prepping for the sprint. There's so many corners in this downhill, I'm literally getting seasick, but the breakaway is about to get caught with 4.5k to go, so energy gel on Kubic. I think now it's time for Ayuso with 3 kilometers to go. Perikas out of the way. Let's wait to sprint a little bit until right now. Marti is ready and Kubic is almost in the wheel. Marti can launch. Kubic is ready too. And this should be great. Kubic can launch before this next corner. And I think we've got the victory. Actually, Marti Paul, he's done it. Or Paul Marti, actually. That's his name. A 1 to win the race. I reckon that's our 5th stage win in the race then. And Ayuso is in the group, so no time loss. Stage 11 looks like a slightly more important stage, and of course Juan Ayuso is in the red jersey, so I think other teams will look at me to control the breakaway. And normally my strategy is sending my backup leader into the break to take the red jersey instead of my leader then, but Perikas is so close in GC on 3 minutes, so I think I'll just have to control from the peloton. Also starting off with pretty bad form on both our leaders, Ayuso with a -1 on the day and Perikas with a -2, so it's best we stay a bit more defensive today. The first break is 10 riders, and the closest rider is Zana on 10 minutes, and in the second breakaway is there a close rider. 14 minutes is the closest, so that's a perfectly controllable breakaway. I'm happy with that. I just gotta make sure I don't give them 20 minutes, you know? Now actually, in the last 65 kilometers, the climbs are coming, and I've been working in the peloton, but now Red Bull is pacing instead, so I don't need to do much. The gap is 3 minutes, so it's all looking fantastic. And well, on these climbs, the peloton is slowly but surely getting smaller. 70 people left in this peloton with a gap of 4 minutes to the front, so the break might win, but I don't care too much. All I care about is the red jersey. About to descend to the final climb, and I think I might use Perikas as a domestique here, and I know that's not the best strategic choice, but I kind of want to try and win the stage still. Then again, 3 minutes on a 5k climb, that's gonna be impossible. Come on boys, on to the final climb right now, 5.7k at 9%, so Perikas can go on 94 from the foot, and I'll try to hammer it right now. 230 to the front of the race, so stage win looks pretty much not happening. In the last 3k now, Marti is leading out Ayuso. Perikas is dropping, but I'll put him on 99 for the rest of the climb. Ayuso has a bit of red bar left, and I might actually try to attack, so let's do that in full and try to get a gap on the others. Marti can stop doing something here and maybe block Leclerc a little bit, but I guess Perikas tries to hold on, but it won't work. Ayuso has in the wheel Roger Adria, Jesus. That man's OP. On the right, we do have people attacking and they've got energy while I don't, although their red bar seemingly is empty, so I definitely overextended at the start of this climb, but I will finish in their wheel. The stage win is gone to the breakaway to Joe Blackmore, but I don't care too much. I don't think we'll be losing time here, and if we do, it's merely gonna be seconds, so it's not the end of the world, but definitely not the outcome I was hoping for. Well, actually, looking at the results, there's no time gaps at all between the GC riders, so that's perfect for me. But it does look like Pablo Castrillo dropped from 2nd in GC to 4th, so we've got a bigger gap to 2nd after this. Anyway, it's finally time for the first of 3 Queen stages in this Vuelta, and this one has a monster finish to Sierra Nevada. I think that's like a 30k climb. Despite his tiredness, Adria Pericas is my man for the breakaway, and Ayuso from the peloton because, well, we gotta defend that red jersey. Before we start our next race, I want to give a massive thank you to Sirocco, who sponsored this series. To give you a bit of behind the scenes, these Pro Cycling Manager videos don't actually make me money. I lose money on them because I pay people to edit these videos. And to be honest, YouTube ad revenue barely offsets that cost, so I had to find brand deals for these videos to make it financially feasible for myself to even do this. And well, that's where Sirocco comes in, my go-to place for cycling clothing, running clothing, gym clothing, lots of clothing. And unlike most clothing brands in the cycling space, their stuff is affordable while keeping the quality. And actually, they just released a brand new collection of summer cycling kits and I like them a lot. But through the link in my description, the bib shorts are actually what sells the most, including the Aspen bib shorts, which are actually 20% off at the moment. And a bit of a plot twist, if you go through my link in the description or use code BenjiNasen, you get an additional 15% off on the already discounted prices. So basically, if you're looking for a cycling kit and want to support this series, then use my link to get your cycling kit because I can assure you it helps. Okay, bad news, our plan is already in the bin because, well, Alvarez is at the front, but Mr. Pericas is not, so he can't go in the breakaway. And well, the second problem is, in the breakaway, there's actually dangerous riders like Blackmore on 4 minutes only, even though he's got 73 mountains, so how dangerous is he really? I think I'll just try to do what I can, which is starting to pace with Alvarez on this first climb and make sure the break does not get 25 minutes. But of course, with a breakaway of 32 riders, I don't think this job is gonna be that easy. Almost halfway the race and Alvarez is basically done for, so Romeo is about to take over on, let's do 73 with a 5 minutes 20 gap to the breakaway, so we're not exactly in the red jersey anymore. And now with 60 kilometers to go, the second last climb is starting, the Colada del Muerto, not exactly the most happy sounding name, but Romeo is almost out of energy and I kind of expect the gap to go up on the climb. So yeah, I have to lock in. Lukasz Kubiš, I know it's not a sprint stage, but today it's working time. But well, at the top of the climb, the breaks gap is exploding to 9 minutes right now, so this is not fantastic, and a washed up Roglic is in the group. It feels like I'm losing control, but there is a 30k climb to make things right. And it's such a massive climb that it doesn't actually fit on my screen. Crazy. 29k at 6%, so that's gonna be a tough one. Just over 30 riders in the peloton at the foot, and our team is looking good, but we are 9 minutes 20 behind the breakaway, and the gap is going up because Kubiš is not exactly the best climber. The climb has only just begun, and Kubiš is gone, so it's time for Noval to start pacing on. 85 is a lot, so let's do 75 for now. And now it's Benjamin Noval dropping off the back with 17k to go, so it's time for Marti to take over, but his yellow bar is not too fantastic. Up the road, Archie Ryan is solo right now, being chased down by Fernando Tercero. Marti is now properly pushing at the front of the group with 12k to go. I want to do damage here before an eventual attack. Okay then, Marti is done for, but it's really early to attack with 9k to go and 1/3 of my yellow bar left, so I'll wait a little bit. By the way, at the front of the race, lots of riders are fighting for the stage win, and Zana is the closest in GC on roughly 9 minutes 39, but the gap to the peloton is down to, oh my god, Ayuso's in big trouble. Ayuso is in big trouble. Look at his energy. We're out of yellow bar with 2 kilometers to go, so I have to do my own tempo now, but it looks like everybody except for Torres and Rodriguez is basically done for. But Ayuso is very much done for, so we're losing more than a minute right now to Rodriguez, who's gonna take over the red jersey. Oh my god. We've got competition. Juan Ayuso finishing on roughly 1 minute 20 of Rodriguez losing the red jersey by 30 minutes. That was not on my bingo card for today. Gotta say, that's a pretty massive blow though. 42 seconds behind now in GC. I was not expecting that. But hey, I guess that means Ineos is now responsible for controlling the breakaway. Stage 13 looks like a versatile sprint stage, so I guess it's Kubish time? Okay, 3 groups up the road, so quite a few riders going in the breakaway, and behind that we've got Ineos setting up a train, but not exactly pacing, so please Ineos, control the gap. I want to get a versatile sprint in the last 20k now, and it's actually been a super selective race where the peloton is only 43 riders, and I'm not sure we'll catch the break of 11 riders up the road, because well, it's 11 riders with 2 minutes in the last 18k, so that's gonna be troublesome. I also don't feel like spending my entire team trying to catch them, so I think I'll try to stay passive for a bit. Like, if I lose the stage, it's fine. If anything, I might try something else on the next hill. I'll try to launch Ayuso and get some time back on Rodriguez, because punchy climbs are better for Ayuso than Rodriguez. 99 on Noval right now. We'll get ready with Romeo to punch in and attack as we speak right now over the top. I'll stop following with Kubish and I'll try to get Noval in the wheel of that. Come on, Romeo. Launch it, buddy, over the top. And the rest of my team is getting blocked, so that is not working. Ay. That was not the plan. Not at all. The breakaway is in the last K and will be taking the stage win, but I'll try to focus on Ayuso to not lose time here. And Ayuso finishes roughly in 15th place, but I don't care too much. The stage win went to Clément Bertin and we finished in the peloton, so no changes. But actually, important to note, Pericas is now on 9 minutes, so we can put him in the breakaway to put pressure on Ineos. But I don't think stage 14 will be the one for that, because this one is a sprint stage, so I'll focus on Kubish. I feel like our team vibe in this race is that we are a bunch of overly tired riders desperately trying to get a red jersey at the Vuelta with Ayuso. And that vibe is especially funny because, well, this episode was never supposed to exist. This series was supposed to end at the Tour de France. Anyway, last 30k and this final climb is not too hard, so we should survive that pretty easily. Past the halfway point of the climb and we're still in a pretty solid position. Alvarez is losing some red bar, but he should get over the climb. There we go, the climb is done, so let's start preparing for the sprint, I guess. Come on team, perfect position into the last 4.5 kilometers on 99 with Noval, but we're getting swamped by other leadouts, so I'm not necessarily liking this. But now it's time to launch our sprint with Marti, but Kubish is not in the wheel, now he is, but we're losing some red bar, 1.7k to go, but I think we might have this. Kubish can launch, but he's almost out of energy. Silva is trying to come around, and I think he might, but no. Kubish is gonna win this one with utter ease, so oi, easy victory. Like sure, Polmani's Vuelta was pretty much a disaster, but Lukasz Kubish stepped up and won 3 stages, almost 4. Anyway, in GC, still a 42-second gap. Ooh, stage 15 in the Calpe region, and this one looks like a breakaway stage, so I think this is the one where we send Pericas in the breakaway. And of course, hope to move up massively in GC. Oh, starting off with a -2 on Pericas is a disaster basically, because our breakaway adventure won't go too well, but I gotta try anyway, so I'm doing it. But in the peloton, it's not just Ineos pacing, also Quickstep, so Remco's not happy about Pericas in the breakaway. In the last K to the top of the first climb, and I think Brenner is attacking me, yes indeed, but I kind of want to do my own tempo, because 2 minutes 30 to the peloton, I think they don't want this breakaway to happen, so I'm not sure our plan of the breakaway is gonna work. By the way, Quickstep have one of the best climbers in this breakaway and Dunbar, so why would they even consider pacing in the peloton? That makes no sense. But on the second last climb, I've let the breakaway go because, well, in the peloton they keep on pacing, so even if the breakaway wins, it's gonna be by just 2 minutes, so not worth the effort for Pericas. Basically, I'd rather focus on Ayuso. There we go, Pericas is back in the peloton and will become a domestique, and Kubic can start by protecting Ayuso. That is my plan. In the last 12k and the last climb is about to start. 3 minutes to the breakaway right now, and I'm going way too hard on the flat. What am I doing? Spending red bar on Ayuso, that's so stupid. The climb is 5.5k at 9.4%, and I do want to attack on this climb, so Romeo can go on 90, Pericas can stop pacing right now and don't block Mr. Romeo there. We've got Rodriguez not exactly at the front, he's a few positions back, so that's nice. We'll put Marti on 90 in the last 3k and then try to attack with Ayuso in about a kilometer. There we go, slowly but surely speeding up. This is nice. I'll try to launch right now because there's a small gap behind us, I think, and I'll try to wait a bit longer and launch once again with with Ayuso right now on this uphill segment. I think that's a good plan at least, and the gap is 16 seconds on Castrillo. So we've got a gap on the road. Rodriguez is behind his teammates, so they might be able to close me, but come on, Marty, stay in the wheel, buddy, stay in the wheel. Ay, 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 they've closed me. I can't believe they've closed me. Over the top, into the downhill, and I'll try to attack in the downhill. It's 5k to go, and it's all downhill to the finish line. Can I get into the wheel of Evenepoel? Yes, I can. All-out attack with Ayuso. Come on, man. Marty can try and follow for a bit, but the second he has a gap between Ayuso and the third rider, I'll try to stop pacing right now with Marty to hopefully open up the gap behind Ayuso. Is that realistic? Nope, that isn't working, but I'm still trying to ride away with Ayuso. It's just not working. Rodriguez is right behind us, but that might be a gap. That might be a gap, and Ayuso's gone together with Pellizzari and Evenepoel, so a small gap. I'm not sure it's gonna count though, but I hope there's a few seconds there. We finished just about 12th in the stage. That's okay. Is there a time gap? Yes, there is. 6 seconds on Remco and 10 seconds on the group with Rodriguez, so that's a small gap, which means instead of 42 seconds, we're now 32 seconds behind, so slowly but surely getting closer. Ooh, stage 16 is classified as a hill stage, but not too many big hills, so this might be a versatile sprint for Kubish. Or well, the breakaway if no one controls. Honestly, I'll go in the break with Alvarez, why not? Actually a pretty sizable breakaway, 11 riders up the road and a gap of 3 minutes to the peloton led by multiple teams. I don't like that. But halfway the stage, I'm pulling Alvarez back to the peloton because they're pacing too hard in this peloton. This breakaway is not winning. That said, in the peloton with 40 kilometers to go, Kubish's yellow bar is looking horrible, so I don't think a sprint is possible for him. Well, I think we can be certain of that because Kubish is about to drop. Ayuso is also more than half yellow gone, so this is a tough stage for the team. Anyway, 6 kilometers to go. Noval is pacing our team at the front, doing a bit of a lead out for Ayuso, which is a crazy thing to say, but he's our sprinter now. Come on, boys, last 3 kilometers, so many corners right now. Marty's going all out, which is a bit dangerous. Pericas is in the wheel, and we've got a gap. We've got a gap. We can win this. We can win this. Pericas can go. Ayuso can go. That is Silva, so he's gonna win, but Ayuso's gonna try and get bonus seconds, so I'll try to pause Marty and Pericas on 0, which is a crazy move, but I'm doing so to make sure Ayuso gets bonus seconds, and I'm getting no bonus seconds. So I did that for absolutely no reason. Or can I beat for the marker? No, I get 4th, so this is silly. My sad attempt to get bonus seconds basically stole my podium. Anyway, GC basically stays the same, so 32 seconds is the gap, but still no mountain stages. Stage 17 is a flat sprint, so once again Kubish time. In the last 4.5 kilometers, Romeo is our 4th last man and is pulling. Marty can go now and Romeo needs to get out of the way. There we go. Kubish looking pretty solid, but it's a flat sprint, so I'm terrified. Marty can launch right now. That's too early, I think. That might be too early. There goes Alvarez with 2 kilometers to go still. Actually, we've got a gap, so this might work because of that gap, and Kubish is going to win with utter ease. Ayuso can try and do whatever he's doing, and Kubish will take the stage in a 1-2 with the team once again, so that was a super easy sprint. And well, that's our 4th stage win in this race, and actually, I'll go unedited to my settings screen because I'm actually still on 1.08 difficulty as before, so I should not be winning like this. But okay, it's finally time for the second last mountain stage of this race, the second of the 3 queen stages. Not the hardest one yet, that's the next one, but Pericas is the favorite. We've got the Col du Bisque as the second last climb and Luzardiden as the last climb. I don't think Pericas is good enough to be the favorite, by the way, but Ayuso is for sure our man. That said, if Pericas does feel good, he's going in the breakaway. So step 1 is maybe getting Pericas in the breakaway together with Kubish, so we've got ourselves at the front of the peloton already, so that's nice, but I'll wait until others attack. There we go. On the left side, we have an attack by Van den Broek, so let's try to jump into the wheel with Kubish, and we're spending quite a bit of red bar, but this seems to be a breakaway group. Roughly 17 riders in this breakaway, and the peloton is pretty much sitting up behind, so that will be the breakaway, I think. Now, before the stage began, I did notice that Juan Ayuso is out of his fitness peak now, and is actually quite tired, so these last couple of days might be quite difficult, despite our daily form today being +2, so that's nice. And actually, just before the first climb, the tempo in the peloton is completely gone, so I think the gap towards the breakaway is exploding to 4 minutes, but I don't know if any dangerous riders are in here. Frank van den Broek is on 7:43 and Brenner on 8:39, while Pericas is on 9:48, so we're not the best placed rider in GC, but we are the best climber in this group. Oh wow, Roglic dropping on the first climb of the day before Kubish was a bit of a shock. We are in the breakaway still with Perikos, but I kind of want to try and recover in this downhill. But this is a bummer. I tried to get Kubish back in the valley, but he's completely done for, so he's not getting back to the breakaway, so I might as well wait on the peloton. Now the break is on the second climb of the day, the Col de Marie Blanc, 9k 8%, but the second part is quite steep. 8 minutes to 9 minutes is the gap towards the peloton. We've got Roglic and Kubish chilling in between, but Ineos is not exactly pacing hard. I'm trying to pace myself on this climb to make it to the top with the fastest riders in this breakaway, and that is seemingly working because half of the breakaway is already falling apart. There we go, over the top in the first echelon of 6 riders, so let's sit up and try to recover. Now the break is on the third climb and the second last climb of the day, the Col d'Aubisque, one of my favorite climbs in cycling maybe, 17k at 7%, and Perikos is looking pretty fantastic, with a gap of 10 minutes to the peloton. And actually, in the last 6.4k, I do want to put some pressure in this breakaway on 85 with Perikos and try to drop a few riders here. And actually, over the top, we did drop Frank van den Broek, the most dangerous rider for GC, but Brenner is also dangerous, and he's following for now. Ooh, the peloton was quite selective on that climb, down to Ayuso and Marti with energy. Romeo is still present, but basically out of yellow bar. But okay, 29 kilometers left and one climb, the final climb. This breakaway is 6 riders and Frank van den Broek is slowly but surely returning, but I'm trying to recover as much as possible without getting attacked in this valley, which is a bit of a thin line to walk, but I need to somehow drop Brenner. That is my mission for the last climb. Because, well, the peloton with Ayuso is 12 minutes behind, so the red jersey might go to the break. But I really don't like that Perikos does not have a full yellow bar for this final climb. That is pretty bad. Oh, an attack in the peloton by Max Poole? Really? On the flat in the valley? What are you doing, bro? That makes no sense. But the break is now on the final climb and the first attack came from Enric Mas, and I'm trying to follow the wheel of Brenner right here, and is that possible? Come on, buddy. Just follow Brenner on this final climb. That is our plan, and we'll try to drop him to the top. That said, Lascano and Mas at the front are basically riding away, so that's not a great thing to see. In the last 8 kilometers, and I'm switching to my own tempo because I simply can't follow the continuous attacking of Brenner. I'm hoping he explodes himself. But actually, the peloton is on 9 minutes at the foot of the climb, so the peloton will keep the red jersey, that is for sure. If anything, I'm actively considering pulling Perikos back to help Ayuso behind. But I reckon I probably shouldn't. Come on, Ayuso, 7.5 kilometers to go. Rodriguez in a perfect position right there. I'm not. I'm trying to do my own tempo to make sure I don't overextend. 2.5k to go for the breakaway, and we have some more attacks with Archie, Ryan, and Mas going for the victory, but I'm just gonna keep going on 70 and hope that I reach the finish line. Come on, Ayuso. We are struggling in these last 4 kilometers with energy. Our yellow bar is not looking good, but the rest of the... oh, there come attacks, and I'll try to up it towards 87 for a second, but no response by Rodriguez, and I kind of don't want to respond myself, so what should I do? I'll try and attack him. Oh, Rodriguez is on the wheel, so that was a mistake, but now he's countering, and I reckon I want to get to his wheel, but I can't. Why can I not follow his attack? I really don't know why, because he stops his attack, that is the reason. Last 2.4k here, I think I'll try to sit in the wheel, and in the meanwhile, Perikos has apparently finished 6th place, which I didn't even notice. 2k to go. I don't think I can attack Rodriguez here. I'll try it anyway. There comes an attack by Ayuso into the last 1.5 kilometers. I'm going too hard. I'm going way too hard. Let's focus on 68 or something. I don't have a red bar. I don't have a yellow bar. This was a mistake. Rodriguez is dropped though. Rodriguez is fully empty, but I am too. So I don't know what the gap is. I think I might be in red after this stage, but I'm gonna try and go 99 now to the finish line with Ayuso, and we're gonna finish 11th on the stage, and we're gonna take time on Rodriguez, so our plan accidentally worked. Even though for most of that final climb, I had no clue what I was doing. Enric Mas is the winner of the stage, and Perikos finished on 57 seconds, Ayuso on 7:05, and where did Rodriguez finish? He finished on about 54 seconds of Ayuso, so I think we are in red. Yes, we are, by 22 seconds on Rodriguez, 25 on Pellizzari, and Perikos does move up to 7th in GC on 3 minutes, so a second card to play. We're back, baby, let's go. That said, it is now time for the action actual queen stage of this race with 6,000 altitude meters, and we have to control the breakaway because we're in the red jersey. Or I can do the same strategy I just did, which is putting Adria Pericas in the breakaway to take red if the breakaway wins. Wow, I'm really stressed for this one, I gotta say. Wow, look at our team. Pericas with a +1, Ayuso with a +1. This is the perfect start to the stage, and Kubish is in perfect position to start off as well to get ourselves in the break with Ayuso. No, not with Ayuso, with Pericas, of course. I reckon I'll try to keep Kubish on pacing duties until the foot of the first climb and then go in the breakaway. Okay, there comes the attack on that climb, 18.5k, 7%, so it's actually a pretty hard climb. Lots of riders are attacking in response to my attack, but in the peloton, no clear pacing. Around 23 riders in this breakaway, and I think Zana is the closest one in GC outside of Pericas then on 9 minutes, so we've got a 6-minute buffer with Pericas on him, which is fantastic. But actually, in the peloton, Lotto is now pacing, I think because they missed the breakaway, but guys, come on, let us go. And of course, because of that pressure from the peloton, Kubish is now getting dropped in this breakaway. Pericas should be able to survive this climb. Come on, Pericas, last 1.8 kilometers. Our yellow bar is looking horrible and attacks will come for the KOM points, so I'm gonna be dropped by the top here, but I should be able to come back in the downhill. Yeah, in the downhill we're basically riding in 5th position, so we should be able to get back pretty easily. We are not even at the second climb yet, and the breakaway has come back together, but the gap to the peloton is only 2 minutes right now, because there's multiple teams pacing, which is not great for Pericas, but pretty great for Ayuso. Anyway, time for the second climb of the day, 10 kilometers, 7%, the Puerto de la Ro, and we are still in the breakaway with Pericas, and Ayuso is chilling in the peloton, so a perfect situation for now. But the break is really accelerating in the second portion of this climb to the point that most of the break is out of red bar and Pericas is still chilling, so he's looking fantastic. Over the top, and we'll try and recover as much as possible again in the downhill. And to be honest, because the gap at the foot of the third climb, the Bagargi Pass, is only 3 minutes to the peloton, I know this breakaway won't win, so my entire goal for Pericas today is to have as much energy as possible at the end of this breakaway adventure to still help Ayuso on the final climb. Last K to the top of this one, spending my red bar now, but attacks are gonna come pretty soon, so let's try and get in the wheel of maybe Vermarke for this last stretch. Yeah, that should be fine, bud. Vermarke is done for, which is fine. We just need to get over the top in the group, and we did. But in the peloton, Noval and Romeo are both gone, so that's not great. Marti is the only domestique left for Ayuso here, so Pericas will be valuable on that final climb for sure. Anyway, I know it's not super entertaining to see me play with a park the bus defensive strategy, but it is the right thing to do to win this race. So we're now on the second last climb, 13k, 7%, and we'll keep on cruising. Oi, 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 peloton is down to 23 riders, so they're really trying to put pressure on Mr. Ayuso here, but hey, he's looking fantastic. The break is now properly trying to attack each other towards the top of this climb, but Pericas is looking fantastic, so I don't think he'll get in trouble. We'll see some more attacks right now, I reckon, yes indeed, so let's try and get in the wheel of De La Calle on the right end, make sure we go over the top in this breakaway, but the gap to the peloton right now is like a minute 30, so the peloton is for sure winning, and it's down to 13 riders? What? That is crazy! And to be honest, the breakaway is so incredibly shattered that I am considering pulling Pericas back to this group, because this break is for sure not winning. There we go. Pericas is now waiting on Ayuso, and I think that's necessary. Still a proper 35 kilometers left in the peloton with 3 riders now. Pericas, Marti, and Ayuso trying to recover as much as possible in this downhill, and the break has 1 minute 20, 1 minute 25 with Rubio and Olalio. I don't care if they win the stage, but I'll focus on Ayuso and defending that red jersey right now, because that is priority. Now it's time for the finale of this stage, the final climb, and it's 12 kilometers at 8% with Rodriguez already setting a tempo in the peloton group, attacked by Max Poole, but he's on 4 minutes 30. Remco's attacking on 2 minutes 20, so I don't really want that because the next stage is a time trial. Ooh, Rodriguez is closing that for us. I'm not complaining. Torres is doing the same as well, so other people are closing the gaps for us. I like this. I feel like a lot of riders in this group, for example, Brenner here, are completely done for, but that's an important attack. Pellizzari is going, so I need to respond to that on 85 by pacing myself. It's not a downhill after the top, it's flat and another climb at the finish, so I gotta keep energy for that. Marti is sadly done for, and Ayuso is on the brink of dropping from this group, so that's not great, but Remco Evenepoel is clawing back the gap towards Pellizzari, come on guys. And actually, over the top, everything is back together. I've got some yellow bar left. Rodriguez looks completely empty. I've got some red bar left, but I gotta play defensive. It's flat and a climb, so I gotta keep my energy for that climb. I am so scared to get attacked, and there is an attack by Evenepoel. I need to set my own tempo on 85. I don't think I can follow that. I can follow Poel here though, because that is a lower acceleration. 5 riders off the front. I've still got my red bar and my yellow bar, so that's good. More attacks are coming. No, Evenepoel is still going. Pellizzari in the wheel, and the final climb is about to begin right now. So let's do my own tempo on 88 now, because I think I can win this stage. Come on, Ayuso. 88 to the top. Final kilometer is here. Pellizzari on the left side. We are defending nicely, but this is gravel. Last K on 94. Is that too much already? I'll do 90 right now. I don't want to overextend too early, and I think I did. I did. Pellizzari is going to win the stage, and he's going to take some time on the road as well, which is a little bit scary, but Ayuso coming third on this one. I definitely could have won that one. Of course, Pellizzari does take bonus seconds, but no time on the road, and that's important. This means Juan Ayuso goes into the second last stage with 19 seconds on Pellizzari, 56 seconds to Rodriguez, and maybe importantly, 2:26 to Remco. 70 time trial on Pellizzari, 73 on Rodriguez, and 83 on Evenepoel. That is really important because stage 21 is a time trial. But of course, first we have to survive stage 20, which is a medium mountain stage, and I reckon it goes to the breakaway. So I think I'll go for the same strat, sending Pericas in the break. This time Pericas starts with a -1, so not the best form on the day, but his role is only symbolical. Getting in the breakaway to make sure we don't have to chase the breakaway is the goal. Roughly 17 riders in this breakaway, and the closest rider in GC is Pericas, so that's a perfect situation. In the peloton, the teams are not pacing super high, but they are keeping the gap at roughly 4 minutes 20, which is perfect because that's exactly what I wanted. In the last 45 kilometers, but I think I recognize the shape of this climb. This reminds me of a Marc Soler stage win, I think, in the Vuelta, maybe in 2020, something like that. Anyway, that climb has now begun, 9 kilometers at 8%, and we are trying to follow the attacks right now, and so far it's working, but we are spending most of our red bar doing so. The gap to the peloton is 2 minutes 45, and there's a gap? Really? Is that a gap? Yes, that's a gap in GC. Oh, no. This is bad. This is really bad. Oi, Ayuso, 90 to the top, 90 for all I care. Get to the front, buddy. There we go, getting back to the back of that front part of the peloton, and it is working. Come on, Ayuso, spend your energy, it is worth it. Just over 2k from the top, and I'm trying to recover some red bars so I can attack towards the top, because right now, I don't have the energy to do so. But I want to try anyway, so there I go on the right side of the road, but I don't have enough to make a gap, of course. Eulaliu and Kristen are in the wheel, and Kristen is now trying to counter me, Eulaliu as well. I'm trying to follow them to the top, but I don't have the energy to gap them for sure. I'll try to follow, and I think I can follow. There we go, but I obviously don't have a sprint, and I'm gapped just at the start of the downhill. No, we are in the wheel. But actually, we have attacks in the peloton. Pellizzari is going right now, and I am trying to save it right now with a last-minute attack into the downhill from Ayuso, and that's a 30-second gap. Oi. I should have just focused on Ayuso. If anything, I don't think I can win the stage with Pericas, so I'll drop Pericas back to Ayuso to save the situation that's happening here, because Ayuso is not looking that good and is 25 seconds behind. Okay, Ayuso is back in this GC group, but Remco is now attacking at the front. I'll just follow Pellizzari, and I'll try to focus on the front of the race now. 2.5 kilometers to go. I don't have a sprint, so this is going to be disastrous. I might as well try to launch early because it's downhill. Come on, Pericas, into this corner. Come on, buddy, into the final corner, and we're going to be too slow for this, but we tried at least, and Ayuso will try to sprint right now, and Remco has been caught in the group behind. So it's a status quo is what I'm trying to say. Nothing changes in GC, and we don't win the stage, which I'm okay with that, to be honest. We're in a pretty good situation right now. That said, it was a really stressful stage, that one. If we take a look at GC, Ayuso now has 31 seconds on Pellizzari, 119 on Rodriguez, so I think he lost some time, and Remco on 226, and he might be the biggest danger for the final time trial. Because, well, Remco has 83 time trials, so he's pretty good at it. That said, Juan Ayuso 79 time trials, so I reckon I should be able to defend this. The final time trial is 23 kilometers and basically flat, so it should be straightforward. Let's go and win our final race, La Vuelta 2029. Okay, our time trial is starting as we speak on 85 with a Yuzo, 79 time trial only on the day, so not our best day on the bike so far. And actually Remco Evenepoel is first at the first time check, so let's see how close we get. Come on, Juan, this is your moment. First time check incoming as we speak, and ooh, fifth time on 19 seconds, so we look pretty safe. Like sure, the stage win is probably not happening, but the gap in GC to Remco is 2:29, so it's going okay. I am trying to spend my red bar a bit on the uphill section. Second time check incoming down to 86, second time on 18 seconds, so this is perfect. Third time check after this next corner, and our time is going to be, once again, second time on 19 seconds, so our time to Remco is stagnating. Actually, in the process of catching Pellizzari in the last 2 kilometers right now, spending my red bar down to 85 in the last kilometer, and we should be able to win this Vuelta with this time trial. There we go, and we finish second on 27 seconds. Sure, Remco Evenepoel wins the stage, but the winner of this Vuelta is Juan Ayuso by 1:59 on Remco Evenepoel. What a monstrous victory to finalize a beautiful series. If anything, this Vuelta was closer than it should have been. Oh, actually, Lukas Kubic also takes home the green jersey, which is logical because he won like a billion stages. I have to confess, throughout this Vuelta, there were a few stages where everything kind of went wrong to the point that I started to doubt whether we could win this, but in the end, Juan Ayuso wins comfortably. And of course, next to winning GC and green, we also won 7 stages throughout this entire Vuelta, so that's a fantastic run. And our sponsors, Dacia and Sirocco, are undoubtedly super happy because La Vuelta was a sponsor objective and we had to win, and we did. But I think the screen I really wanted to show you at the end of this video was this one, winning the Giro d'Italia with Lorenzo Fin at the start of the year, then going to the Tour de France, finishing second and third with Ayuso and Fin, then the Vuelta came after in this video, and we won it. And let's be honest, getting beaten by Tadej Pogacar is really not a shame. And sure, our goal at the start of La Vuelta was to remain the best team in the World Tour ranking, but that did not happen. UAE Team Emirates beats us by about 400 points, but getting second is still pretty fantastic. Especially because that second place symbolizes our journey. We started as a small pro team and we have built it up to a fantastic World Tour team in the span of 58 episodes now, but we did not win the Tour de France. We did not succeed in every single goal, and that's fine. And well, if I'm being completely honest, we started this series on the back of Rembe Pro Cycling, our previous career mode, which was always going to be hard to top. Because our journey with Rembe was special to me after a year of not even playing Pro Cycling Manager in 2023, but I still very much enjoyed every single episode of this series, but I want to do better in 2026. Anyway, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye to this series, and I hope you enjoyed every single step of it, and hopefully you'll enjoy my series in PCM 26 even more. As always, thank you so much for watching every single episode. Your support is invaluable, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.